month after coming to New York in September from Minnesota, Ontario County DA Jim Ritz.
The facts and the circumstances of this crime are beyond depraved. This is by far the worst homicide investigation that our office has ever been a part of.
That audio courtesy WHAM. Police say Nordquist endured repeated acts of violence and torture from December to early February and are investigating his relationship to the 5 people arrested, including at least one of them, a woman who was living with Nordquist. Julie Walker, New York.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A cold weather advisory goes into effect here late tonight. We'll see increasing cloud cover here for today with a high around 11. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, decreasing clouds, a low near -2. Tuesday, sunshine, a high around 13. And Wednesday, a slight chance for snow, cloudy, and a high around 15. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, it's 3 above.
WCPT replay.
Illinois State Representative Cam Buckner.
Obviously, there's a lot going on in the country. The political climate is rife with a lot of, I just think, bad policy, bad action going on out there. But, I'm inspired by the people of Illinois and the work that we're doing here in this state. And I just want to remind folks that we have to be able to distinguish between rhetoric and action when it comes to the Trump administration. Donald Trump thrives on spectacle. His words are designed to provoke and distract and dominate the conversation. But I keep reminding folks that there's a difference between thunder and lightning. All right, thunder makes a lot of noise and it's scary, but no one's ever died from thunder. Lightning is actually dangerous and it's deadly. And so we can't be distracted by what he says. We have to look at what he actually does and find a way to counter that through our policy and through our work.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Welcome to Choose Views with Richard Chu. Get ready to dive into a world of insightful conversations and thought-provoking discussions.
As progressives, our job is to have an all-inclusive, full-on assault with all of our players.
A show that will focus on moving our political, social, economic, gender, and cultural conversation forward.
And all of our players means all of our players.
It's Choose Views. And now, here's your host, Richard Chu.
Filling in for Richard Chu this morning, it's Michelle Peltier.
I love it. Good morning, Chicago, and all of the other WCPT listeners. Good morning, Devin. It was nice that you did that for me today.
I was told that's the voice the station wants, so I'll do this.
I was just merely saying my name. The do this thing. It makes no never mind to me. Hey, your hearing isn't betraying you this morning. And you don't have the wrong station. Richard is out for the day. So you're stuck with me, Michelle Peltier, from the Family Meeting Radio Show on WCPT Sundays from 4 to 6, filling in for my friend and yours, Richard Chu. Big thank you to Richard for inviting me to be with you this morning. I just really have to be honest with you and tell you that I'm all over the place because the world is all over the place. So I tried to have some things in order, but let's just, since it's a holiday, February 17th, President's Day, let's just make it a free-for-all. I'm going to have some topics because there are things I really do want us to talk about today. But if you feel like talking about something other than what I'm suggesting, feel free to give us a ring, especially if you are not working today and have nothing else to do, because we appreciate you continuing to listen, even though you don't have to. So it's been 28 days since you know who, right? It's so hard for me to say his name. Just DT is all I call him. Yeah. Since he was sworn in, and he has not wasted any time pulling our government and our Constitution and whatever else up by the roots and throwing them away. It makes my head spin. If I looked at the news like I used to, I don't think I would have had a happy day at all because the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, all of it can be so daunting. Since the last time I was here filling in for Richard in November, I managed to detach myself from what used to be my day-to-day curiosity of what is going on in the country and the world, which was something I've done most of my adult life until November 6th, when I just stopped, threw my hands up, said, that's done, I'm out. The country and some people in my life who I thought I knew, because I thought I knew this country, I thought I knew some people in my life, I was blindsided by all of it. And I just needed some time to regroup and back away and focus on other things. So we're going to talk about today, I want to know how you're feeling, day 28, 29. And I want to talk about some solutions or some activities that you may have been involved in that are helping you feel like you're making a difference. I belong to 3 different text groups, all women, different numbers, 1 big and 2 really small, and we are all having conversations about what can we do outside of our frustration. You know, I'm not honestly as engaged as I probably should be, like the rest of my friends, Devin, but at least conversations are happening. So that's what I want to talk about today. I hope my friends who I've asked to call, who participate with me on those calls, who actually convene those calls and call us today so we can talk more about what we're doing as a group. And there's one particular person who I'm hoping will call this morning. I won't call her out in case she does not call, but she's working in her neighborhood, a predominantly white neighborhood, which is, I love her so much. She's really just kind of dug in deep and trying to make a difference. So I hope she calls so she can talk more about what they're doing. If not, I printed out their plan because they have a plan, this group of women. So I'm going to share it with you if she doesn't call. And before we get going, it's cold. It's cold. So let me talk to you a little bit about where you can go for resources today if you don't have them. Some places are going to be closed because of the holidays. And over 200 warming centers that are normally activated in the city's police districts, libraries, and park field houses, senior care centers, and community colleges will be closed today. But one of the 6 community centers will be open today. The one at Garfield Community Service Center at 10 South Kedzie Avenue will be open from 9 to 5. Also, today, 57 of the 250 Park District buildings will remain open, according to the city. Also, unfortunately, all libraries, the city's 21 senior care centers, and 7 community colleges and facilities that act as warming centers will be closed today as well. But the Chicago's 25 police districts will remain open and accessible. The Salvation Army's Freedom Center at 825 North Christina Avenue will act as a warming center today, and it will be open 24 hours. There are 6 drop-in centers for those facing homelessness. They will be activated today to accommodate those in need of shelter from the elements. Anyone looking for the closest available warming center or requiring emergency overnight shelter can contact 311 via phone or online at 311.chicago.gov. Weather conditions this week could induce frostbite in under 30 minutes, the Weather Service warns, and the agency advises those experiencing the extreme cold to avoid travel, try to stay indoors, keep a winter survival kit if travel is unavoidable, and check on the elderly and dress as warm as possible. Okay, I didn't want to go too much into the show without giving you that information because, God forbid, somebody's out there today just trying to stay warm and figure it out. So I want to make sure people who hear me today know where to go. If you have questions about that, feel free to call while we're talking about this too. Okay. Oh, let's play a clip, shall we? I want to start us off on a good note. So let's start with the clip from Kamala.
We're seeing a U-turn, but we have to keep fighting for those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant, and it's just the nature of it. It's the nature of it. Whatever gains we've made, they will not be permanent or through vigilant. And this nation, our democracy, our rights are only going to be as strong as our willingness to fight for it. And it's the nature of it that we do have to fight for those rights. You guys want to look at this beautiful play and everything that we know he ended, that he was suppressed, he had to suppress so much. But who knew, and he took those risks, but we have to be clear-eyed. And it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything, right? These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against it.
Yes.
And that's our optimism.
Thank you so much.
Okay, did you hear? She said we should fight for something, not against something. And she also said this nation, our rights, are only going to be as strong as our willingness to fight. So, keep that in mind. Should we take a break, Devin? All righty. We'll be right back, y'all.
In a new Porsche, performance, style, and class come together to elevate every drive. Come find your new Porsche from the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park today. Stop in to test drive the latest models, including a new 2025 Porsche Cayenne. And right now, lease a new 2025 Macan for $899 a month for 39 months. Visit the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park or PorscheExchange.com. 8729 to its signing. Excludes tax, title, license, and dock fee. No security deposit required. Expires 2/28/25.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy. University of Chicago professor Harold Pollack said that the best financial advice for most people would fit on an index card. I'm going to fit his index card into your Work Money Minute. Here we go. Max out your 401k or other employee contribution. Buy inexpensive, well-diversified mutual funds. Never buy or sell an individual security. The person on the other side of the table knows more than you do. Save 20% of your income. Pay your credit card balance in full every month. Maximize tax advantage savings vehicles like Roth, SEP, and 529 accounts. Pay attention to fees. Avoid actively managed funds. Make financial advisors commit to the fiduciary standard. And lastly, promote social insurance programs to help folks when things go wrong. That's it. For more tips, check out workmoney.org. Till next time, this is Carrie Joy saying, take good care.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
It's Chew's Views. Filling in for Richard Chew, it's Michelle Peltier.
You know I love to hear my name. It just tickles me. Good morning and welcome back. So, today, I want to hear from you, as I mentioned earlier. But I want to kind of tell you, I mixed all my papers up already. I'm starting off so great today.
It's Monday.
I know, right? And it's cold. Let's see. I totally lost my place. I was going to tell you what I wanted to talk about today so that you could get ready for it. I have a segment where I want to talk about news that I have read and I don't know the end of the story because there's so many things to pay attention to and I'm curious about some things and haven't taken the time to find it myself. So I'm wondering if you guys know. I also want to talk about something was gnawing at me about these nominees, these candidates for these cabinet positions. And they're all so bad. So I started wondering what happened in the past with nominees, because they've all gone through, right? We haven't had anybody not go through. Am I right about that? We're still waiting on some people to be confirmed, but I think everybody so far has passed whatever litmus test they have. I don't know what it's nothing. I don't know how they're judging these people. Anyway, so I start thinking about how has it looked in the past? What have some candidates not been chosen for? Or what did some candidates withdraw? Why did some candidates or nominees withdraw? Because in this scenario, we do have one withdrawal. Matt Gaetz withdrew, right?
Withdrew from the, yes.
So that's one withdrawal, and then everybody else has gone through. So later on this morning, I want to talk about that. Or, I mean, since I brought it up, I could talk about it now. I don't have to go in my own order. I can make it up as I go. And I think I'm going to do that since I started. So here's who we have from beginning to end, from the first person that was nominated and confirmed to the last. So Marco Rubio was the first. He's our Secretary of State, or their Secretary of State. I don't know. Then we have John Ratcliffe, CIA Director. He was confirmed. Doesn't look like he was that qualified either. I don't even know what qualifications mean anymore. Then we have our beloved Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense. He's been confirmed, obviously. He's out drinking and doing his job, as we saw in the video clip. Did you see that, Devin?
No, I did not, actually.
Okay, so I don't know where he was. Maybe somebody who's awake can call and remind us. He was standing at a podium answering questions, and he had a little glass, like a drinking glass, cocktail glass. And he kept doing this. And then he put it down, just little bitty sips. So you know it probably wasn't water, because who drinks water like that? He was literally drinking at the podium. Yeah, that happened for everybody to see. Kristi Noem, who we know as well, and she the puppy killer. Yeah. Then we have Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary. He was confirmed. We have Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation. He was confirmed. Lee Zeldin. He was confirmed, Environmental Protection Agency Administrator. Then we have, give me a minute, Doug Burgum. He's the Interior Secretary. He was confirmed. Doug Collins, Veterans Affairs Secretary. He was confirmed. Pam Bondi, Attorney General. That one. She was confirmed. Scott Turner, Department of Housing and Urban Development Secretary. He was confirmed. Russell Vaught, Office of Management and Budget Chief. He's confirmed. Tulsi Gabbard. She's been confirmed. Brooke Rollins, Agricultural Secretary. She's been confirmed. And last but not least, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary of Health and Human Services. Now, I want you to think about all of the things that we know about these individuals and all the reasons why we were not happy with their nominations and now their confirmations, right? So, if I can find the sheet, I'm going to list off some names of people who either withdrew or didn't, or weren't or were not chosen. But we have a call. Let's talk to Pam from the West Side while I'm looking. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic now that you've called.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know you want to laugh to keep from crying.
Yes,
I know
I
that
do.
laugh. I know that laugh.
Thank you.
So let's call our government what it is. It's now, and I heard this on Joy Reid first, it's the cacostocracy. Have you heard that word, Michelle? Cacostocracy.
I can't pronounce
it. That's okay. I'll spell it for everyone. Okay. K-A-K-I-S-T-O-C-R-A-C-Y. And when I read you the definition, you'll know this is exactly, we're in full-blown state of this government. It is a government run by the worst, least qualified, or most unscrupulous, corrupt citizens.
Agreed.
Now, thank you. And that, like I said, I heard that on Joy Reid. So let's start there. Where do we go from here? History has taught us there are two things that have transformed this country and at least attempted to make it do right. One was through violence. That's not the route we want to take. And I'm talking from a civil rights perspective, from a black woman's perspective, and from what the history has taught us. And the other, boycott. Now, we are going to have to decide which road we want to take. We know the other side, and I'm saying the Republicans and the conservatives, they will resort to violence. They have resorted to violence. And they've gained some temporary victories. But we cannot relent. We cannot give up. And I'm saying I'm ready to put a financial hurting, some economic sanctions on this country. I don't know if you've seen the most, Musk, and I call that the Department of Grifting Everybody. That's the Doge, the Department of Grifting, because
I love that so much.
Yes, thank you. Please feel free to use it if you care to.
All the time, yes.
Because this is the biggest grift ever. The biggest con ran on us. And now we have the person who seems to hate everybody, particularly black people, who is in the White House, the sexual abuser. So where do we go from here? We organize, we fight, we get the facts. Are you familiar with a Mr. Greg Palast?
Oh, yeah.
He said he has the numbers now. He's worked the figures and the numbers are there. He said this election was stolen, Michelle. And he goes into great detail to talk about the purging of voters, the challenges that Elon Musk's money, that Nazi saluting person, his money paid for. Regular Republican voters were able to challenge people at the polls. The numbers are there. Then you talk about the provisional ballot. So first we've got to do the research and get all of our ducks in a row so we're armed with knowledge and the numbers. Lastly, this is what I'm asking. I'm asking those who hate racism and discrimination to fight back. We need the good white people. I'm a little bit concerned. I haven't heard enough from the Jewish community.
That's interesting.
Because really haven't. And I'm reaching out to some of them because I like answers. I want to know why. Because anytime a black person says anything about Hitler or any Nazi-related anything in Germany, that's the kiss of death. Now, the sexual abuser, the adjudicated sexual abuser, he has asked his staff, why can't my generals be more like Hitler? We saw Musk do a Nazi salute. We saw that with our own eyes. I don't care what the media wants to call it.
It was showing love. That's what it was. He was saying, I love you.
Well, to all the Nazi lovers and those who support apartheid and the hate. So what I'm saying is the people who hate the hate groups, they have taken over the Republican Party, and they've done what they said they wanted to do for years. They wanted to go mainstream. And they've done that. And so what is going to be our pushback and our fight Because all of this, for me as a black woman, is an insult to the legacy of all civil rights leaders, black, Jewish, white, Asian, all of the Native Americans who fought for freedom, just basic decency and freedom. So I'm mad as H, but we can't give up, and we must organize, and we need our elected officials to come out and speak truth.
I agree with that, Pam. Pam,
yes.
Who are you talking to? What? I know you're...
Yes, I get. Well, first you start with your inner circle and your friends, who are more than likely already there, and then you start with maybe your social groups, right? The organizations that you are part of. I've also made sure that I've renewed my membership to organizations that I know are doing the work, civil rights organizations. But you can go with the ACLU, you can go with the Southern Poverty Law Center. I think I'm getting that right. Increase your memberships or donations to any organization you know doing the work. I'm also contacting elected officials, but it's difficult to contact those Republican officials or those who are outside your district, because now they have the system set up. Well, guess what? You have to give your zip code, and if you're not in that zip code, they don't want to take your call. So you might have to go old stream and use fax. Or you might have to go old stream and just use a good old-fashioned postcard. Not a letter, because sometimes they won't open.
I'm all for the postcards.
So that everybody who touches that postcard can see your message.
Yeah, and the piling up of the mail it used to be very effective. I don't know about now, but it used to be.
Well, let me just, I'll lastly end with this. We have someone who, Bannon said it, they want to deconstruct government and basically ruin government. You have someone in the White House who's doing that. That also includes our postal system. I was just up north. I saw them closing down a post office on the north side in probably, I'm going to say, a liberal area. What do you think they're going to do to the post offices, which, by the way, guess what? Takes and delivers our mail-in ballots, right? What would we do if they decide to shut down post offices just arbitrarily in all Democratic areas and black communities? Those heavily favored. I mean, we're in trouble. Let's not even deny it. But we're going to have to come out of this. And as I'm going to call on again, we need the good white people, because I keep hearing people tell me that there are good white people out there. And I like to think
I can co-sign for that. I have many in my life who are allies and wonderful and kind and loving and are down for the fight.
And I'm up for anything else we need to do. But our voices have, those who are really prominent on social media, let's put the word out there. And we need our billionaires, Michelle. We need our billionaires. This can't be the fight just for working class, middle class, poor people.
Well, how do you think we can engage them? They know what's going on.
I agree. Maybe we're going to have to communicate with people who engage them. Maybe we're going to have to get on their social media feeds, right? And ask them, hey, what are you doing? Or if they come anywhere close to our circles, via a meeting or, some of them do some work with elected officials. But it shouldn't be that difficult to call, because our country is at stake.
I know. We should put a list together. We know Mark Cuban, George Soros, of course.
Yeah, I'm talking, all those who were out on the stump for Harris when she ran. I mean, this has to be a fight with the people with money, too. They have to help fight back on this. And we all have to push back, not out of anger, because I'm mad as H, but because it's the right thing to do. What future are we leaving for our children?
That's the big question, right?
And, Dr. King said it best. He said that the logical conclusion of racism is genocide. And we've seen this book play out in Germany. We have a Hitler-loving person in the White House who admires Hitler. So that's the playbook, along with the 2025 playbook, to dismantle everything decent in government.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
And like I said, it's a reality check, like I said, but all is not lost if the people are willing to stand up. Are we willing to get out there in the streets and be out there and have our faces heard? Because MAGA was willing to go attack the Capitol for a lie. How are we going to stand for the truth?
Ooh, that one almost got me out of my seat on that.
I know I take my time. They stood up for a lie and fought like, you know what, and still telling a lie. What are we going to do for facts and the truth and our children? Thank you.
Pam, you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being our first caller today, okay?
You're welcome. You're welcome. And let's keep up the fight, people. We're not going to give up.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, we love Pam, okay? I just love her commitment and her dedication and her passion. I am missing the passion, right? Because I've been in the fight since I was 18. I'm an older woman now. And after this last election, I'm telling you, just really wiped me out. I'm a new version of myself after that. And I'm not quite sure if I'll ever get back to my full gusto, you know? All right, so let me talk to you. Do we need to go to the news?
Take a break if you want.
Yeah, let's do the news. We'll be back.
Check up on health with Chris Whitting.
If you're a parent, making healthy choices for your child is more important than you may realize. According to Dr. Richard Flanagan from the University of Colorado Health Sciences Center.
We cause the three major killers in this country. Things that we do, foods that we eat, behaviors that are not healthy are the main contributors to heart disease, cancer, and stroke. If we do the right things, and especially starting early in life, because this disease process of heart disease and atherosclerosis starts very, very early in life. Studies from children who were 10 years of age, if they died from accidents or suicide, and they looked at their arteries, just about every single 10-year-old had early atherosclerosis. And that's little foam cells and streaks of fat in their arteries.
With Checkup on Health, I'm Chris Whitting.
You are listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A cold weather advisory goes into effect here late tonight. We'll see increasing cloud cover here for today with a high around 11. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, decreasing clouds, a low near -2. Tuesday, sunshine, a high around 13. And Wednesday, a slight chance for snow, cloudy, and a high around 15. That's your latest Chicago weather update.
Currently, it's 3 above.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
It's Choose You with Richard Chew. Filling in for Richard Chew, it's none other than Michelle Peltier.
I'm always going to giggle when we come back after you saying my name.
Someone's got to do it.
I know. I love it, though. Okay, so, again, thanks to Pam. When I was talking earlier about the different cabinet picks that were made and have already been confirmed, I told you that I was going to go back in time to talk about why some nominees in past administrations weren't chosen or they withdrew for whatever reason. I'll start with Bill Clinton. In 1993, Bill Clinton nominated Zoe E. Baird to be Attorney General. Only 5 days later, she asked Clinton to withdraw her nomination. Her candidacy was stumbled on the disclosure that she had hired undocumented immigrants and had not paid appropriate taxes on their wages. Particularly galling to opponents was the idea of the nation's chief law enforcement officer having broken the law. Should I say that one more time? Having broken the law. Oh, my gosh. Then Lanny Guinier President Clinton's nominee for Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, conservative journalists and Republican senators mounted a campaign against Guinier. She was dubbed as a quota queen, a phrase first used in the Wall Street Journal op-ed by Clint Bolick, a Reagan-era U.S. Justice Department official. Okay? So, that's Bill Clinton. There was another one, but I couldn't remember her name, and I only remember her by something she was telling children it was natural for them to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So she wasn't advocating for it. She was just saying it wasn't a bad thing to explore that part of yourself. And because that's the conversation she was having, they just beat her up so bad that she left. Yeah. Under W, his nomination of Linda Chavez to be Secretary of Labor was short-lived because she offered shelter and financial support to an undocumented immigrant. What are we thinking about? Are you hearing any of that stuff? Mm-hmm. W also ran into trouble when he nominated Bernard Kerik to head the Department of Homeland Security in 2004. His malfeasance or whatever was unpaid taxes on domestic workers of unclear immigration status, and this precipitated Bush to withdraw his name. Later, Michael Chertoff, as Secretary of Homeland Security, was nominated. Do you see why I'm thinking this way? Is anybody with me right now? I mean, look at what these people gave up willingly in most of these instances because they knew that their actions did not make them a good fit for the position, because on its face, it looked bad for them to be a part of the administration having those things hang over them. Barack Obama had one as well. His nomination of Senator Tom Daschle to be Secretary of Health and Human Services was sunk by unpaid taxes on a limo service as well as consulting income. Particularly troubling was the source of the car and driver, which may have been one reason his nomination failed. I mean, come on, people. Look at how far we've come. How low can you go? Right, Devin? I mean, we have animal killers.
Brags about it, too, is the thing with Christy. She wrote in her book, bragged about killing a puppy and said to President Biden's puppy, you're going to join him soon. I'm like, I thought, the whole, American values, family values was you had to have a dog.
I know. You're exactly right. And then, Kennedy with the bear, because he was going to eat that.
Well, not to mention Kennedy, he's in charge of the Food and Drug Administration, yet he was a known heroin addict for 14 years. He had
brainworm.
Yeah, brainworm. And it's just baffling to me. And you heard it here, Michelle. Trump's going to put him in jail when he tries to make McDonald's illegal. Well, you saw the picture. Notice how uncomfortable he was holding his French fries from McDonald's. RFK knew something was up there, and he just did not want to come out and be like, oh, no thank you for me.
I love it. I didn't see him with the French fries.
Back, that was around the time just for inauguration. They're all in the private jet. They're all, McPhee's got his filet. Trump's got the filet of fish. Elon's got the Big Mac.
Is that okay. It seems like we got a little buzzing over here, people. No dead air. It's radio. So anyway, my point is and shall be that, I don't know, our requirements have just hit the bottom. That's all I can tell you. Just the bottom. What was it?
We'll find out.
We don't know? Okay.
WCPT, am I speaking with? Where are you calling from?
So, I'm sorry. I'm just quiet. We're,
I'm sorry, what's your name?
we have a call coming in. I'm going to wait for it.
Troy?
Because all of my papers, are out of order.
What's your comment, Troy?
Because I did the show out of order. Okay. I'm going to wait for this call. Come on, you guys. Wake up and call me.
My name is Troy.
Hi, Troy. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Troy?
I'm doing good. I love to hear your voice, and I used to listen to you. Still don't do Sunday?
Yeah, you didn't hear me yesterday, Eric and I.
No, you still. No, I don't. Is this guy? Is he still with you?
Yeah, I'm with Eric. I'm on the family meeting. I'm his co-host on Sundays, and I fill in for Richard when he's not in town.
Yeah, he seems like he's so mean to you.
Richard or Eric?
Yeah, I guess the one that be mean to you. I don't know. The one who would you?
Neither one of them is mean to me. It's all family fun.
That's the way. That's the way I was saying it.
Yeah.
And, okay, Michelle. Okay, they talk about Black History. Did anyone say about this? What's the name of it? You know what I'm talking about. This leprechaun thing that you having.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, St. Patrick. Is he gonna suspend it? Is he gonna cancel that? No, get rid of that.
No, of course not.
Oh, you should mention it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just call in. I love to hear your voice.
Well, I appreciate that, Troy. Keep listening, okay?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep listening now. I want you to get mean on them guys when you.
I love them. I can't be mean to them.
Well, just knock them down every now and then, okay? Please do so.
Thanks, Troy. Have a good day, okay?
Okay. Thank you. You be blessed and be safe, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.
He did make me think of, it is Black History Month. We can go through some Black History moments. You know what? I don't want to do that. I think after talking to Pam, as I'm losing my voice, let's listen to clip number 2. Is that the one about the
federal workers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So let me just kind of give some background on this clip. So I was going to talk about what's happening to some people out here in the world who are suffering the consequences for either a vote they did or did not cast. And I have a couple of examples of that, of the aftermath, if you will. So let's go.
Guess who just got fired via phone call? Me! I was a forestry technician for the USDA Forest Service, and my crew dealt with timber sales and management. So think salvage sales, wildfire mitigation, American lumber product, forest and ecosystem health. So I was still in my probationary period, and I was 3 months away from getting my 1 year. I have put 5 years of my career into public service and natural resources, and this is how we are getting treated right now. Now, my supervisor can't answer any of my questions, like what's going to happen to my last paycheck because they're going to log us out and we won't be able to put in our time. What's going to happen to my health insurance? Am I going to get my separation form, my final one? Because I need that paperwork to apply for unemployment. And these are not merit-based firings. All of my performance reviews my entire career have been stellar, nothing under fully successful. And the legality of this is questionable at best. So I guess if anybody knows any good federal employee lawyers or anyone I can talk to about this, because, yeah, this is definitely making my life a lot harder right now. I had to get put on anxiety medication because of all of this stress. It kind of felt a little bit like a weight was lifted off my shoulders when I got the phone call, because now I don't have to worry if I'm going to be fired anymore because it already happened. But, you know, just ridiculous. It's very much giving tech bro layoff. And for those who don't know, there are certain processes and procedures that must be done before a reduction in force can be enacted. And according to my supervisor, they had zero prior knowledge that this was about to happen. So let's see what happens next, I guess.
See, I just don't think that this is funny at all. I think it's terrible. The ripple effects that this is having, we're going to be doing some Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation here in a minute, because somebody's going to know somebody that's affected by all this madness. And it's just tragic. It's very sad to me. I'm even kind of sad for no, I'm not even going to say that. Let's talk to Karen. This is Karen from Chicago, my girl.
Hey, Michelle. Good morning. So nice to hear you this morning. And, I'm a little, my compassion and my, it's a little stretched thin. And usually with these mea culpas, I usually tune it out after I didn't think, because really that's all we need to hear. No, you didn't think. You didn't think about yourself. You didn't think about your neighbor. You didn't think about anything other than your hatred and discomfort with the other. So that's what that is all about. It annoys me when people keep, talking about, it was the economy. They try and use that old excuse that the cost of eggs or whatever, but
we know that's all a lie. That was always a lie.
That's all a lie. Always a lie. So yeah, it's just it's all we can really do is not isolate, come together in community, do some self-care. My anxiety, I've never felt anxiety like this, not even during COVID.
Yeah.
So basically, every day is an opportunity, though, for us to kind of turn it around and at least minimize, the physical impact of it and the emotional impact of it. So it's Monday again, and I woke up this morning and I got my YouTube box breathing going. I recommend it because I've been waking up with a knot in my stomach every single morning, and it's really hard to get rid of it. So I've been doing box.
What is box?
So it's this thing that it has like these kind of this temple bell, and it goes ding, and when it goes up, you're breathing in. And then, and it's different patterns that they offer up. And if it's like anxiety, like this morning I did one and it was like 4 seconds, breathe, inhale, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. Okay. And it's like an hour-long thing, and I think I did like a half hour. Then I did my anxiety-reducing yoga with Adrian on YouTube. And then I did my gratitude journal.
Oh, girl.
And then I turned on your show, and,
this show starts at 6, so when did you start that, at 5?
So I started at about 5, but I have to admit I tuned in a little bit late this morning because of all that. But, and then, I just am trying to do a little bit, like do a little resisting every day and then turning it off. And then, and making my phone calls to my representatives. If I bundle up, and if I can, I'm going to get down to the protest at the Federal Plaza today, but it's going to be cold, so I'll definitely be bundling up for that. And then I'm just tending to business, like trying to make a little money in this real estate market. So that's all I can do, but I have to like time block it and I have to limit myself.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
So you were our big educator when it came to Project 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, after studying it and knowing it the way that you do, what can we learn or can we do to combat Project 2025 with what they're pushing out, if that makes sense?
Unfortunately, I think that we are very limited right now, because what have we always said? Our votes are our voice, right? And the whole idea of like talking about Project 2025, anybody can download it. I'm going to say that get yourself informed, get yourself educated. Now that a lot of people are feeling it, I would recommend going to globalextremism.org. Wendy Vi and Heidi Bayrick are two women who have both been in working at the Southern Poverty Law Center for 20 plus years now. During COVID, they started this organization, and they collect all the data. They monitor all of the far right extremism throughout the world. But they were paying special attention, and that's how I found out about Project 2025. And we've had them on our podcast a couple of different times. But definitely go to their website, and if you can, support them, donate. But you don't have to, but you can sign up for their newsletter, and you get updates, and it, just kind of to let you know what to do. I would say that right now we have special elections coming up. We have local elections coming up. We really need to act locally. For sure. And then I would say that, the other stuff is we have impact when we don't spend. So there is going to be a national blackout on the 28th.
28th, yep.
Where, for 24 hours, don't spend. It's a little thing that you can do. I think that really what needs to happen is we have to get uncomfortable. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and having uncomfortable conversations. And I think that unfortunately, at least for me, I am definitely at a point where I can no longer be in company of people that voted for this again. I don't, I feel like it's a wrap on that, and I have to use my time wisely and spend my time with people who are going to, not to put myself in a bubble, but, that it's like, there are people that are reachable, but if anybody that voted for him this time, already seeing the 4 years, having the alarm sounded, and when people say, "Oh, Democrats don't message," they were at the DNC opening that Project 2025 book, so you weren't paying attention, you weren't hearing it, and so you have to ask yourself why that wasn't enough for you.
See,
the media needs to stop worrying.
Yeah, I kind of don't believe that people weren't paying attention, right? Where were you? Where have you been? This is his second time around. I'll never understand it. So I feel the same way you do. I've been so disappointed by some people who I really cared about and just cannot wrap my brain around that vote. I just can't do it. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
I can't either. Really, I think that we need to focus on the people that we already have, and then all of us who already are aware and informed, we need to try and reach the people that are reachable. The people that are in the cult that have done this over and over and over again, they're going to start feeling things, and they're going to start to understand. He wasn't just talking about hurting the people. He wasn't just intending to hurt the people that you hate and that you are uncomfortable with. He's not going to separate it out any more than he separated out the violent insurrectionists for the ones that were just there, doing their quote unquote tour.
Oh, please. The building was closed. It was closed.
It was closed. You broke. If you walked across broken glass.
But at the moment you crossed the perimeter, you should go to jail. That was all a crime.
Yes. And so, and he should have been arrested the day after.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for doing what he did, it was obvious to everybody watching that this was him, and that these people, you're right. It's like you walked across, all the people that came in after, the police barricades were broken down, you walked across bloodied pavement, you walked through broken down doors, broken windows, across broken glass.
Yep.
Come on now. You didn't think that...
It's true.
I mean, come on. Right?
It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. But anyway, you have a great day. Michelle, you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. You save me. Every time I'm on here, you call. So I appreciate it. I love you. Thank you, Karen.
Love you too. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Remember, box breathing. Box breathing. Okay.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it.
It's great. I'll send you. You know what? I have your phone number. I'll send you the app.
Okay, great.
Or the YouTube channel. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was great. Should we take a break?
Yeah.
Bless you. We'll be right back, people. Here.
WCPT replay.
Illinois State Representative Cam Buckner.
Obviously, there's a lot going on in the country. The political climate is rife with a lot of, I just think, bad policy, bad action going on out there. But, I'm inspired by the people of Illinois and the work that we're doing here in this state. And I just want to remind folks that we have to be able to distinguish between rhetoric and action when it comes to the Trump administration. Donald Trump thrives on spectacle. His words are designed to provoke and distract and dominate the conversation. But I keep reminding folks that there's a difference between thunder and lightning. All right, thunder makes a lot of noise and it's scary, but no one's ever died from thunder. Lightning is actually dangerous and it's deadly. And so we can't be distracted by what he says. We have to look at what he actually does and find a way to counter that through our policy and through our work.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
This is a WCPT Veteran Minute. In the midst of World War II, a group of Native American soldiers known as the Code Talkers became silent heroes. The U.S. military faced challenge of secure communications on the battlefield, and these men, primarily from the Navajo tribe, were enlisted to develop an unbreakable code. Using their native language, which had no written alphabet, they transmitted vital messages that were indecipherable to enemy forces. The code proved to be an essential asset, particularly in the Pacific Theater, where it helped the Allies win crucial battles. The Code Talkers' courage and ingenuity saved countless lives and turned the tide of the war. Yet, their contributions remained largely unknown until decades later. The legacy of the Code Talker stands as a testament to the strength, resilience, and valuable service of Native Americans during one of America's most devastating conflicts. This has been a WCPT Veteran Minute.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. The Vatican says Pope Francis's respiratory tract infection is presenting a complex clinical picture that'll require further hospitalization. That's as concerns grow about the increasingly frail health of the 88-year-old. Flooding in Kentucky is blamed for at least 9 deaths. The state's governor said at least 1,000 stranded people had to be rescued. In an interview, Hazard, Kentucky Mayor Donald Mopolini says this was a bad flood.
We had warning on this flood, unlike 2022, which is a flash flood, but I think everybody missed the mark because it's supposed to crest at 26 feet and it gets 30.5 feet. That's the largest flood we've had since 1984.
That audio is courtesy of WTVQ. Top Russian officials will hold talks with U.S. counterparts on restoring ties, negotiating a peaceful settlement to the war in Ukraine, and preparing a meeting between Russia and the U.S. AP correspondent Lawrence Brooks reports on Israeli plans to construct new settler homes in the occupied West Bank.
An anti-settlement watchdog says Israel has issued a tender for the construction of nearly 1,000 additional settler homes in the occupied West Bank. Peace Now says the development of 974 new housing units would allow the population of Efrat settlement to expand by 40%. It would also block the development of the nearby Palestinian city of Bethlehem. Construction of the new homes won't start for at least another year after the contracting process and issuing of permits. Israel has already built more than 100 settlements across the West Bank, ranging from hilltop outposts to fully developed communities. More than 500,000 settlers live in the occupied West Bank, which is home to some 3 million Palestinians. The settlers have Israeli citizenship, while Palestinians live under military rule, a situation which major human rights groups have described as apartheid, allegations rejected by the Israeli government.
This is AP News. Last night was Saturday night's 50th anniversary show. Jimmy Fallon says it was great to realize his childhood dream of being on SNL.
This is a dream come true for me. Since I was a kid, I used to cut my birthday cake and make a wish to be on Saturday Night Live and throw a coin in a fountain, and 50 years later, here I am. I'm the luckiest guy on earth.
A Bay Area hometown hero helped his team triumph in a revamped NBA All-Star game. Correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh.
Shaq's OGs won the first All-Star mini tournament in NBA history, getting 15 points from Boston's Jason Tatum and 12 from All-Star Game MVP Stephen Curry of the hometown Warriors to beat Chuck's Global All-Stars 41-25 in the final. First-time All-Star Victor Wembanyama of the Spurs led the Global Stars with 11 points in the final. It was the debut of the All-Star mini tournament format featuring 4 teams and 3 games with only 40 points needed to end each contest. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A cold weather advisory goes into effect here late tonight. We'll see increasing cloud cover here for today with a high around 11. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, decreasing clouds, a low near -2. Tuesday, sunshine, a high around 13. And Wednesday, a slight chance for snow, cloudy, and a high around 15. That's your latest Chicago weather update.
Currently, it's 3 above.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything for your next project. For over 65 years, Menards has been the destination for post frame buildings. Whether it's for protecting equipment or you just need a place to keep your toys, Menards has a post frame building for you. Get a free estimate fast in store or on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Chicago's progressive talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Welcome to Choose Views with Richard Chew. Get ready to dive into a world of insightful conversations and thought-provoking discussions.
As progressives, our job is to have an all-inclusive, full-on assault with all of our players.
A show that will focus on moving our political, social, economic, gender, and cultural conversation forward.
And all of our players means all of our players.
It's Choose Views. And now, here's your host, Richard Chew.
Filling in for Richard Chew this morning, it's Michelle Peltier.
What did Richard just say in that clip? All of our players means all of our players, right? That's what we're talking about. Okay, I'm happy to see that Big Art is on the board. Big Art, good morning.
Good morning to you, Michelle.
How are you
this morning?
I'm better now.
I'm okay.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm just keeping warm and keeping myself fit and trying to maintain a positive, a positive vibe, considering all that's going on. It's difficult. Fortunately, like I'm not younger and going to have to deal with the future the way our young people are going to have to, my children and grandchildren, but it is what it is. America is what it is. We are one of the most. I feel a certain percentage of Americans are so undereducated and so gullible, so easily manipulated. Their brains, whether it be politics, whether it be what's right and wrong, whether it be religion, because some religions are way out in outfield. You know, I mean, we all need some spirituality, positive spirituality, to get through a bad day or even what could be a bad environment or bad life.
Yeah.
That's why so many of us turn to alcohol and drugs, and that causes problems of its own, and always has. If you look at our history with that, if you just look at it right now, I mean, right now you have a president who has been documented to have had a drug problem in the past. One of his sons definitely needs an intervention. I don't have to go into detail about it.
In the past or not? I'm not quite sure.
Well, it might be present too, but you would never hear about it. Just like you never hear, because the Democrats, because they're so decent, you never hear any Republicans trying to check Donald Jr., because he's a young man, he's not that young. He needs help. He really needs help. If you've ever been around it, I've been around it. I remember the 80s and the 90s when everybody was doing it. I wasn't, because I was scared of it, because of what it could do to your heart. And I've never been much of a weed smoker because I never liked to smoke anything. I did like to drink though. Did a little way too much of that. But it's when the campaign was going on, I'm like, okay, we have all this institutionalized racism. Our history is just horrible. There's the status quo and the caste system of people, the have and have-nots. No matter, I don't care how you got your money, whether it was handed down, whether you won a lottery, whether you invented something, whether you stole a bunch of diamonds, whatever. But you have a lot of people who just don't have that much, and they need to be helped by those who have a serious abundance. But those people are psychologically damaged too, because they just can't seem to get enough. You have hoarders. You have hoarders of wealth and money who simply don't want to share. They do not want to share.
And
because you can only have so much.
Right.
You can only have so much and do so much
There's
with it.
no way that they can spend that money, their family's money. Give it to their families, and it'll take decades upon decades upon decades to spend all of that money. I feel like they could write, Bezos, Musk, whatever, could write a check to end homelessness, right? That's how much money they have.
They definitely could.
So I don't get why they continue to want more, because right now Musk
because
is
they're psychologically damaged, Michelle. They're psychologically damaged to a point that they want to be. I think they think all of this money they have puts them on a godly plane, and whatever insecurities they have. I mean, look at Musk.
Maybe you're right.
I mean, he's not a handsome man. He's not a physical specimen. Him and Trump never have been. Trump inherited a boatload of money. And even then, that wasn't enough. He stole from his siblings.
So did Elon, right?
Yeah, I don't know Elon's past. I'm not going to lie and testify to him. But I've heard enough about you. I remember when the campaign was going on, and I rebuked that inflation thing a long time ago, because I heard the numbers, the job numbers. That we had even though we had a little bit of inflation, it was nothing compared to what the rest of the world was going through. I heard all of this, and still they kept pounding about how bad the Biden economy was, and it's like this one lady. There's certain things that stick in my brain. This one young lady. They interviewed her. She was Caucasian, and she was in Kamala just started her campaign, trying to get it rolling. And what came out of her mouth was, "I don't know who she is." Okay, well, she's going to try and remedy that. Her and her campaign are going to try and remedy that. She's going to give you some ideas of who she is. it wouldn't be hard to. Excuse me, got to get that gas out of me. It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be hard to empty stomach and bubbling and wants a little breakfast.
I understand.
But it wouldn't be hard to just vet her. I mean, to Google her and see what she's done. You know what Trump did. Mm-hmm. You know who Trump is. You know he's a pathological liar. He's a loser. He's misogynist.
He's all that. Big Art, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So in your description, it says, when will MAGA supporters wake up? I want to know from you, are you expecting them to?
I think a lot of them won't.
Right.
Because they're part of a brainwashed cult, and they have that. And part of that brainwashing is white supremacy, white superiority, and that's for a lot of them. That's the only thing they can cling to. That's the only thing they have. Because I looked at those floods that happened just recently. Those horrible floods. I don't care who you are. Mm-hmm. When something like that devastates you, when Mother Nature says, "I don't care what you think," or "I don't care what your political leanings are. I don't care what your ethnicity is. I'm Mother Nature. I'm gonna hurt you and gonna kill you." I'm like, I be thinking in the back of my mind, I don't want that kind of harm to come to anybody, Michelle. But it's like, I wonder how superior you feel now. You know, is FEMA going to come in there and help you, or Trump and then Elon going to cut that to death too? The man has so many billions of dollars. He has no business just willy-nilly cutting. And when is Congress going to step up?
Oh, my gosh.
When are the Republicans going to get a backbone and put an end to this nonsense?
I think we have to just stop waiting on it, because I don't know that it's going to ever happen. I don't know. It's quite troubling.
Where's the real patriots? Where are the real patriots? Those aren't patriots climbing the walls of the Capitol building. No. They were lied to, and because they were just sore losers like their leader, who couldn't stand that he lost because he thinks he's infallible or some kind of everything that comes out of his mouth. I mean, he sounds so stupid when he talks most of the time. He really does. He's just a nincompoop. And Americans have such a short memory. His incompetence and his indifference, and then once again his incompetence with COVID-19 that cost the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans, my fellow Americans, and you still voted for him again. Why?
See,
exactly why? I don't want to hear that inflation stuff anymore. It's nonsense.
See, that's
why?
That's the thing, right? Big Art, I think that this is why I don't spend a lot of time, and I'm a why person. I am a questioning woman. I want to know the answer.
Yes, you are.
But for this particular place that we're in now, I don't care, because we're on round 2 now, right? We're on round 2 with DT. So if you did it again, I don't.
What happens to you?
Yeah.
It's going to be your own fault. If you made that bed, you better get in the fetal position and lie in it.
And I'm not going to spend time trying to convince you otherwise. It's not I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my time. I'm just not doing
I hate to see all the pain, though, Michelle.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The collateral damage is awful. I'm with you.
It's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse.
It's going to be
the collateral damage. Foreign relations are foreign relations, which are very important. We are a global world. You cannot isolate yourself no more with the international community, whether it be Canada, Mexico, Europe, your neighbor. You have to. We're community, and you have to realize that. And try and be kind and help each other out. I've come to the conclusion, Michelle, that we're dealing with sadism. We're dealing with sadistic men who have such insecurities and fears and shortcomings. We're not going to go into all the details of it, but they have psychological issues and what I just mentioned right quick, those 3. But we're not only that. I think we're a masochistic society in certain sections. We like pain. We like adversity. And we bring it upon ourselves when we can avoid it.
You might be right.
We really do.
I don't know. You might be right, Art. But we're definitely walking on 2 different paths. right?
I'm telling you, we are.
And now, but here's the thing. I think that now there's a clear divide. Before it was all muddy. Now we know who's who. And we can act accordingly. Big Art.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
I'm going to have to let you go here in a second because I have another call. I'm so glad you called. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're doing okay? You're doing okay?
I'm holding on pretty good. I got a doctor's appointment this Thursday. I'm going to have to lay her up, and I kind of took a little break from it because I was just so tired of it, and just said, let me just take better care of myself. I don't want to see a doctor. I don't want another PET scan, but I'm going to get back into the routine this Thursday and try and stay alive a little longer.
Thank you.
I can hear your beautiful voice.
Thank you, Big Art. Plus, you need to be around for a little while longer. We got work to do still.
Yeah, we do. We do. At the very least, if I'm having a bad day, I maybe can send out some positive vibes and call somebody and cheer them up and say it's gonna be okay. Keep on working hard. Keep on going. Don't give up. Don't give up.
You do that. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling. Have a great day. You take care. Okay.
You too.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. And we have Donna from Rogers Park. Good morning, Donna.
Good morning, Michelle. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, sweetheart?
Darling, I'm doing just like you, trying to make it. I want to say, listen, one thing I have to give to these whacked out Republicans, when they decide to stick together, they stick together like glue.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Dems. We are our own worst enemies. The reason that, at the end of Trump's first term, we saw who he was, what he was really about. Because January 6th, when those people came down there after he harped on there. He called them to Washington, and he came. And I don't know what the Dems were thinking at that point, because this man, really, he had a lot of power, because the people came, and I don't know if it's something in the food, it's something in the water, it's something in the air, or all three.
Mm-hmm.
or maybe some MK Ultra was used on these people because they're in such a deep fog. They're programmed drones.
Yeah.
And basically, they've had the last 4 years to work on this campaign. Because if you really think about it, Donald Trump's name was in the news just as much or more than Joe Biden when Joe was president. The media, he had the media in his pocket. They kept him in the news. He was always
every day, almost every day. Every day.
This is why I'm saying they worked every day. They had the whole 4 years. Plus, remember 2 years before the election, they really worked heavily on this campaign against wokeness. Well, if you tell a lie enough times, people start believing it. And why did they work against wokeness? Because if these people had awakened before the election, Kamala Harris would have been in office. This was a very well-planned, thought-out, and executed campaign for them to stay in office. Because some years ago, the Republicans have said collectively and independently, if we don't cheat, we'll never win again. And they've been working on cheating ever since.
Yeah.
I did everything I could. Almost 2 years I worked on trying to get this, educate people. Look, if you don't want to read the book, if you don't want to read Project 2025, it's enough videos on YouTube. Go and listen. But you really better pay attention, because we're in a fight for our lives here. We're in a fight for our lives. And I kept saying, I said, look, everybody in this country, nobody has ever lived under the kind of regime that they're getting ready to put in office. I said, these people have moved here from other countries to get away from this, and this is getting ready to open up in our country. You gotta wake up.
That's
and
true.
People just laugh and say, "Yeah, well, he's not gonna do it to everybody." I said, look, if you believe that, I got about 10 I got about a dozen bridges to sell you today. If you want to collect on it, I can sell them to you right now. This man means business, and plus the corporation. All the money is behind him. At a certain point, you have to realize, look, we keep trying to hand olive branches to thugs. You can't hand an olive branch to a thug. When you're in a fight, if you're in a fight and you're in the ring, and you're working by the rules, but you're in the fight with the street thug, do you think the rules are going to apply? No. You got to throw the rules out. I'm not saying throw everything out, throw the baby out with the bathwater. We have standards. We have a reputation, but we have to get with the program. We turn on ourselves, our own people. If somebody in the Democratic Party messes up, they have a circling firing squad to get rid of it. That's been our problem for a lot of years. Instead of turning on ourselves, we need to get together and turn on the enemy collectively. And we got to start changing our program up because, as you can well see, the way it's looking right now, don't think that this man is not going to willingly leave the White House at the end of these 4 years.
Well, look.
They're not even observing judges now.
Donna,
okay, so let's get real here.
No, Donna, look. I mean, it might be worse than that. I'm not sure that we're going to have elections in 2 years.
That's
how bad I think it is.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you said it. But you know what?
In there messing with all that stuff, all our stuff.
Yes.
We don't know what he's doing.
And guess what? None of the Republicans or Democrats are doing anything about it.
Nothing.
What is going on?
See? Okay.
Nothing is happening.
Let's talk about this if you don't mind. Because I think that all of this is incredibly strange in that nobody's saying no. I mean, what the heck is the Doge? What is that? They just created it and then they're running things and everybody's just going along with it like it's a thing and it's made up, just pulled out of the side of their necks. It's not real, but we've made it real. It's very, very strange to me.
The department is not real, but the acronym is real because that was Elon's cryptocurrency coin, Doge. That was his coin. So he just took the same name from his cryptocurrency coin that he already had in place.
That
but the
I did not know.
Yes, Doge is his. You can look it up and check it out. That was his cryptocurrency coin. But here's the thing, though. Nothing is being done to prevent this stuff from continuing. And I know there's some things that we can do. I just can't understand why there's no movement. I mean, even the Dems are not making enough noise. And how come the people are not out in the street? A lot of people have been affected by this so far. And they're crying about it, but what are they doing about it?
I hear you.
I know there's some things that we can do collectively, and we had better get out of this fog that we're in and figure out what to do, because if we don't make some things happen very rapidly, like you said, in 2 years, what they're doing is they're trying to close all the possible portals that we have.
Yep.
And right now, they've already said that they don't have to listen, they don't have to pay attention to what the judges are saying.
Yep.
So if that goes away, I don't know what we got.
We're in trouble.
You know, I'm not an anarchist. I don't want to be an anarchist in the street, but I'm trying to wake folks up and saying, look, whatever you can do, we got to get busy. We got to get busy. So stay awake. Don't throw the towel in. Don't give up. Let's just collectively get together and quietly. Let's don't publicly announce it because we'll be giving them a heads up. We got to find a way to quietly, collectively get a plan together and implement it. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Donna.
You're doing a beautiful job, Michelle.
I appreciate you, Donna. You keep up the good fight, okay?
Thank you, sweetie.
Have a good week.
Love you. Bye-bye.
I love you, too.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Donna.
Okay, shall we take a break? Sure. Okay. I'll play the clip when we come back.
This is Tony Moray. I'm an estate planning lawyer who drafts living trusts and wills. Since the election, I've been hearing from my clients, many of them fellow WCPT listeners, and we all wonder, how did this happen and what can we do? The how is, of course, very complicated. My thoughts as regard to what we can do is simple but important. We need to take extra care of those we love. Having an estate plan using either a living trust or will can provide comfort in uncertain times like these. When the progressive values we hold dear are under attack, I feel we must make sure that our personal lives are secure and then work out from there. I've been drafting estate plans for my clients for over 30 years, and I will use all of that experience to help you. Please call me at 847-996-0496. My website is moreylawoffice.com. That's Morey spelled M-O-R-E-E. Again, the phone is 847-996-0496. There is no cost or obligation for our initial discussion. I look forward to speaking with you.
Join me and WCPT Radio at the Southland Friends of Labor 16th Annual Jobs Breakfast, Monday, February 24th. We will be in Joliet at IBEW Local 176. This special union event is free to all active and retired union members and all WCPT listeners. Come and enjoy a great breakfast and WCPT's special broadcast with me. Guests being interviewed include Andy Rico, Business Manager, IBEW Local 176, Bob Howard, President of the Chicago and Western Lakesport Council, and Stephen Powell, President of Local 881 UFCW. Doors open at 7:30. If you want to attend, please call or text 708-996-1291 and leave a voicemail to save a seat. Free to all WCPT listeners and active and retired union members. See you on the 24th.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. A cold weather advisory goes into effect here late tonight. We'll see increasing cloud cover here for today with a high around 11. Winds out of the west around 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, decreasing clouds, a low near -2. Tuesday, sunshine, a high around 13. And Wednesday, a slight chance for snow, cloudy, and a high around 15. That's your latest Chicago weather update.
Currently, it's 4 above.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
It's Chew's Views with Richard Chew on WCPT 820 AM. Filling in for Richard Chew, it's Michelle Peltier.
And we're back. Donna, if you're still listening, will you call the station back? Because Karen from Chicago wants to connect with you. So I want to get you two together. So we can all get together to make a difference, whatever that means. But yeah, so call us back so that we can get your info to give to Karen. Okay? I want to play just based on the conversation we've been having about things that we think might be happening in the course of the next few weeks, months, years. Another clip about what may happen to our taxes.
83% of the trillions of dollars worth of tax cuts found in the Republican proposed budget go to the top 0.1% of Americans. That's on average tax cuts going to only the wealthiest 7,000 people in every state. And by the way, if you make less than $400,000, there's no tax benefits for you whatsoever.
Okay. Everybody clear? We all on the same page? This is not... Okay. Anyway, I want to get this in before we go. It is Black History Month, so I want to just kind of make you aware of some dates and people that you might not otherwise know about. I'll say one, and then I will... Is that Donna? Yep. Okay. You... Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, people. Give her that. I'm trying to connect people. So, Black History Month. just give you a couple of names of people that you might not have heard of and that you might find interesting. So February 13th, 1907, Wendell P. Dabney establishes the groundbreaking black newspaper known as The Union in Cincinnati, Ohio. The paper's motto was, "For no people can become great without being united, for in union there is strength." In 1760, you're going to love this one, the great religious leader Richard Allen was born in slavery in Philadelphia. After being required to sit in the back of a white church, Allen would go on to help found and become the first active bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Are you ready?
Today, the church, one of the largest predominantly black denominations in America, has more than 1 million members in the U.S., Canada, the Caribbean, and Africa. Allen died in 1831. And one more before we go, 1867. One of the nation's most distinguished institutions of higher learning, Morehouse College, was founded on this day in Augusta, Georgia. As the Augusta Institute, it moved to Atlanta in 1879 and became the Atlanta Baptist Seminary. It became Morehouse in 1913. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., as you know, graduated from Morehouse. So, news you can use. And also, before I go, I mean, we've got some time, but I don't want to leave without saying, now that it's you're home, hopefully you're home for the holiday, they're having a day off. Hope that you're snug like a bug in a rug, and hopefully you'll keep your YouTube, your TikTok, your whatever we're on for all day. You can listen to Stephanie right after this show. Tom Hartman comes on after Stephanie at 11. Then Joan Esposito is at 2. And Patty Vasquez, as Richard says, rounds out the day at 5 o'clock. And for those of you who don't know, I was really excited to see that Randy Rhodes is back on WCPT from 7 to 9 p.m. If you don't know Randy or you haven't listened to Randy, she's almost as good as Richard. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. Okay? I think we had... That was Troy again. All right. So I want to go over some things that we can consider doing, being a part of. I have a list here that I just gathered from all different kinds of places, but it's, you can take something that you think you can do, because, everybody can't protest. Everybody doesn't want to make phone calls. Everybody, doesn't want to do whatever. What I'm saying to you right now is there's a place for you in this movement. You just have to find it. That's all I can tell you. You got to look for it, because there is a place for you. If it's your personality, and we're all working together. So, number one, just protect the decent and hardworking members of your communities or our communities who are undocumented or whose parents are undocumented. Make sure that we're allies and watch out for and protect our LGBTQ plus members of the community. Help protect our officials in our community and state who DT has targeted for vengeance, and we all know that he's not a fan of our governor. So, we need to make sure that JB and our mayor, I don't think he likes our mayor either, make sure that they're always in good shape and doing the good works that they continue to do for the people. And it says here to participate in or organize boycotts of companies that are enabling the DT regime, starting with X and Tesla and companies that advertise on X or on Fox News. Have you read, Devin, that people are turning their Teslas back in? Yeah. Now, I think that's huge. Because, you know, people who have those cars, do you know anybody that has a Tesla?
Did.
Apparently, they are an amazing vehicle. That's what my friend told me. And she's challenged right now. She doesn't know what to do because she loves that car.
But she already gave them the money is the thing, though, too, here. This is a lot like when people were burning their NFL jerseys. It's like you already gave them or shooting Bud Light cans. It's like they already got the money. Unless you're selling it back to the Tesla dealership.
Right.
You're not really hurting them too much. But those I don't know, you ever see a Cybertruck, Michelle?
Oh, my gosh.
They can't sell those. And the government is buying them for government vehicles because no one else wants to buy this giant piece of you-know-what.
It's not going to even be... It's not even a good military vehicle. The thing can't move.
It rusts. It can't drive in snow. It can't off-road. It's not a truck. It's no different than my sedan in the parking lot here.
And they're very ugly.
They're so ugly.
In my neighborhood, there's about 3.
Ew. I've only seen one in my area, and I think it's the guy just who owns the dentist down the street.
No, 3. So I live across the street from a grade school, and it's parents of the children go to school there.
Just imagine that kid. You think he gets picked on, or you think the child gets picked on because mommy and daddy have the ugliest truck on the face of the planet?
I don't think anybody's saying that's so cool. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, I know one guy. He does a weekend show here. He has his rap for his business. He says, "Yeah, I bought this stupid truck and put my stupid face on there because I knew people would be like, 'Oh my God, what is that?' And they'd want a truck called my business." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess you got something ugly and put an ugly." Oops, I should not say that part, but I don't understand this here. I've seen so many videos of these things getting rusted less than a year in, getting destroyed, not being able to run the snow. You have to pull over to clean the lights. And the best part of the Cybertruck is you have to wait 2 years before you sell it, or else Tesla will never sell you a new Tesla vehicle again. But my logic is, if you, Michelle, if you were to buy a car that was so garbage, would you ever buy from that brand again anyway?
Nope.
And that's why I'm baffled. I'm like, if anything, that's like, you know, the pat on the back, like, thank you guys. You saved me from making this mistake again.
Yeah, no, they want the 2 years to get that income because if they don't make that a requirement, people might turn them right back over.
Oh yeah, the interest payments because that's it's a 6-figure vehicle. It's like that's insane.
Here's where we are. All right. All right, so let's finish the list. To the extent that you are able, fund groups that are litigating against Trump. Spread truth. It's hard to figure out what the truth is anymore. I'm telling you, you have to go through so much just to verify what you've read. At least I do. And who's got time to do all that? I don't know. I rarely do, but I do it anyway, so I can talk. Urge friends, relatives, and acquaintances to avoid DT propaganda outlets such as Fox News, Newsmax, X, and increasingly Facebook and Instagram. Will we say Instagram too?
They're under the Meta umbrella.
So let's you and I chat about the Gulf of America.
You know, anyone who lives in Chicago should know that it's still the Sears Tower, no matter how many years it's the Willis Tower. So if we really think we're going to start calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, Google, I'm sorry.
It's so disappointing, though, that they actually put it on the Google.
As we've learned, but, you know, AP News was kicked out or is banned because they refused to call it the Gulf of America here.
I know.
But I just must say, it's like, you know, on day one, I'm going to lower the prices of gas and food. He signed like 700 executive orders, and one of them was the Gulf of America. It's like, I don't know anyone who is asking for that, Michelle. And more importantly, I don't think anyone cares except for him and his sycophants.
Right. Somebody just blurted it out and they were like, Yay, let's do it.
I literally think it goes back to the racist part, and I hate to just kind of throw that word racism around there, but it's like, we'll call it the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico, because if we call it Gulf of Mexico, it goes to the Mexicans, and we can't have that.
You're probably right.
I hate saying it because it's such a blanket statement. And Republicans are like, you have nothing but saying he's racist. It's like, and
I think that's on the nose.
I could be crazy, but let's talk about how buying Greenland, and he wants to call it red, white, and blue land. I thought that was a joke at first, but that is seriously what MAGA people are proposing. Calling Greenland, when supposedly it becomes the 52nd state, it's going to be red, white, and blue land. I'm like, we live. This is a comic book, Michelle.
I'm serious. I mean, we've got people dying in the streets of hunger, unhoused people, and that's kind of, And they're raising the price of prescription drugs again, so, there's that.
After criticizing Biden for getting rid of all of Trump's, they're like, Trump lowered the price of prescription drugs and Biden got rid of it. I'm like, cool, then why doesn't Trump put his old policy back in? If anything, he's going there. He took away Biden's, they're going up. It's just baffling.
I know. Now people are trying to decide which bill to pay or buy their medication. We're right back there.
But remember, we're going to make our country great again and bring back the economy that had nothing to do with Barack Obama's tax plan back in 2017,
Thank you.
18, 19.
Thank you. See, Devin's preaching this morning, y'all. How about that?
Got me fired up, Michelle.
I love it. I love it. All right. We need to also push for progressive measures in our communities and the state. Donate, donate, donate. Oh, and let's call our Congress people, even though they're on the right side, they still need to hear from us to know that we care. Just because we feel safe here in Illinois doesn't mean anything. We still are part of the bigger picture, and we need to help. We need to do our part. And most importantly, which I have not talked about today, is find your joy. Right? We all need to find some joy. That's the only way we're going to get through this time. And take some classes with Devin.
Love her when does the hand thing with karate, because that's like what they remember from Karate Kid and whatnot.
Wax on, wax off.
It's better than ever getting in that random crane stance, putting
That's
one
my
foot
favorite.
Up.
That's my favorite.
But it's so useless.
It's not.
It looks cool, I'll give you that. But if anyone did that in a fight, I would sweep their other leg.
Didn't he do a fight in the movie?
Yeah, that's how he won the fight. But it's like, if anyone ever did that in a fight, it's like, okay, Johnny, sweep the other leg next.
Do you all know what we're talking about?
Karate Kid, 1980 something, I'm guessing.
That was before you were born.
Yes.
Shut up!
Well, you were what, maybe 1 year old, Michelle, if even?
Oh, I love you. I love you so much. That's amazing. All right, my darling. I have one more thing that I want to talk about. If I can find it. I was doing really good there for a minute. I want to make sure you guys heard what I said today, though, about the warming centers, and that you can call 311. If you need help, call 311, okay? Stay inside. I don't know what else I have. I lost it all. And I'm losing my voice.
It's Monday. We can chalk it up to that excuse. It's Monday and it's cold.
Oh, you know what, though? I do. We got to play that clip.
Oh, of course. How'd I forget that
It's the greatest. It's the best way to end the day.
What would you have us do?
I would actually, you know what? I'd just like you to show that you give a damn, that you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately, that this individual sitting down at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office, whose son says to him, "You're not the president. You shouldn't be in that chair." Now, where did he get that from? He got it from his daddy. because that's what his daddy thinks of the man who brought him into the Oval Office. So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff. Elon Musk has his tentacles in everything you're doing, not just off of X, but now he's in the Treasury Department. He's in the Labor Department. He's in the Department of Homeland Security. And nobody seems to give a damn. So that's all I want, somebody to show that they care enough to get off their fat ass and say something about it.
Michael is all of us, right? I tell you, that was amazing. You know what, you guys? I owe you a really big apology because I messed up my notes and just ended and started when I wasn't supposed to. I never said the telephone number today. I don't think I did. And now it's 7:47, so I apologize for that. I apologize for not saying 773-763-9278. Give us a call. Catch us live on Facebook, Twitter, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, and Heartland Signal Digital Newsroom. You can remember that for the next show. I'm so sorry. I dropped the ball on that one, you people. I'm sorry. I also would like to say thank you before I go to Richard for giving me this amazing opportunity to be with you this morning. Also want to thank Eric Grant, from the host of the Family Meeting Radio Show. But for him, I wouldn't be here. So I want to thank him. And I'm going to take one more call, and then I got final words, and I'm going to say adieu. Ken? Hi, Ken.
Hello?
Go ahead. You're on the air.
Is it me you selected?
Yes, Ken, it's you.
Okay, all right. Somehow I thought you said Jen. But anyway, what I wanted to know was I don't have internet access, and because my library is closed today, and I wanted to look up, that lady was talking about a protest today, and I'd like to go, but I don't want to go there at the wrong time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, oh man, and this is President's Day, so it's supposed to be about the president, right?
Yeah, let me text Karen.
I'm sitting there steaming because I'm like, you guys are talking about the be active, go out, do something, and I didn't write down the events for today because I knew it was going to be 10 degrees and minus 10 wind chill.
But when you have lots of bodies together, it's not that cold.
Oh, I've been out there. I was out there on January 20th, and I was just warm enough.
Good.
But I made a really incredibly great sign to bring down, so I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll brave it out and bring my wonderful sign, because I got the top line says Washington, D.C., and then it's got a line through that, and then the next line is renamed, and then I spell out Musk Cow.
And you made it yourself?
Since they're renaming, all these places, well, I figure in a year's time, after the dictatorship is fully in, then they'll just name it Moscow.
You never know. Anything can happen.
This is the trend. I'm just following the trend,
Well, I'm glad that you are willing to join in this, whatever it is we're doing. I don't know. I don't even know. But I'm glad you're with us.
I think we'll be calling all those people down there Muscovites.
We might.
I've been calling them Banana Republicans for years.
So, Ken, I don't want you to hang up, okay? I want you to hold on until Karen answers me. But in the meantime, I'm going to take another call, okay? Don't hang up.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. I just got up, so I've missed part of the show today.
Oh, that's okay.
But I wanted to make sure. I don't know if you had a chance. Did you mention the 5 Calls app?
I did not, because I was hoping that you would call, but I printed out everything, and I was going to read it before I left today. But take it away.
All right. For someone like me, it's really hard to get out there and figure who to call, what to do, where to put all this frustration that I have about what's happening in our country today. And I was made aware of an app called 5 Calls. This thing is so cool. You pull it up, you put your zip code, it plugs in your Congress people, your representatives, the senators, and you pick a topic that you're passionate about, that you would like to see change. You click on it, it tells you the information about it. It gives you the phone number for your person. It even gives you a script to help you say what you'd like to say.
Oh, that's helpful.
It is just so easy. It's so easy. And one of the groups that I'm affiliated with here, just a little neighborhood group, we make a plan. On Wednesdays, it's 5 Calls Wednesday.
So you make your calls together? In the same space?
I mean, not in the same, just the same day.
Okay.
Everybody's committed to making calls, at least 5 calls a week, 1 call a day. It doesn't, and they just, and the first time I called, because I've never called any of my, I've never called anybody before. I've never called a senator before.
I'm so proud
and people
of you.
answer.
Yes, they do. That's their
people
job.
Answer the phone.
They're constituent relations people.
They are. They answer the phone. If they don't, we leave a message. We leave our address, because they tally up these calls.
Yeah.
Somebody's sitting there saying, here's what this person called about, and they relay that to whoever, So anyway, I just wanted to say that's one little thing that you can do, and it only, one person times 10, times 100, times 1,000, it makes a difference. So anyway.
Well, full disclosure to our listeners, Chris is a very, very dear friend of mine. We've been friends for, 30 years now?
Plus.
My drainage cough. Yeah, we've been friends for a long time, and she's an amazing human being, an ally, and it's her first foray into getting involved politically, and I'm just so proud of you. Very proud of you.
Well, thank you so much. And it's my second time calling into a live radio show. Look out, world.
With bells and whistles, we'd be doing it. All right, my darling.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You have a great
Good luck,
day.
everybody.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yay. She made it. Just in time. Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm going to turn it over to Devin, but I want to, again, give a big thanks to Richard, my good friend, to Eric, my good friend. I wouldn't be here without Eric, and I appreciate Richard for just letting me do this. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm nervous. Was really nervous this morning because anyway, but we got through it. And listen to the family meeting on Sundays from 4 to 6. And my motto is, from here on out, is armor me up. So let's armor up, people. We got fight, but we've got to fight, but we want to armor up with knowledge, love, compassion. Okay? Let's just do good. Really. That's basically what we all want, is just to do some good and stop hating on each other. But this was lovely today. Thank you guys for hanging around. I appreciate you. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, y'all. Have a good week, okay? Call 311 if you're cold or you need somebody to look for a relative for you, okay? Thank you. Bye.
Are you tired of talking to yourself? We can get you an audience on the radio. You can produce and host your own radio show on one of our 2 stations. Please call 773-792-1121. That's 773-792-1121 and ask for Mark. Limited space available.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute. On my YouTube channel, I recently talked to Amanda Clayman, a financial therapist and an all-around excellent person. We talked about how to reduce money anxiety, and her advice was really helpful. She said, unless we have a time to do money, we don't have a time to not do money. Meaning, if we set aside some time to think about and manage our money, it lets our brain stop worrying about money all the time. For example, I have a monthly money meeting with myself, which lowers my money anxiety and helps keep me on top of my finances. If you don't already, set and keep that money meeting with yourself. It'll help your wallet and your peace of mind. Remember what Amanda said, unless you have a time to do money, you don't have a time to not do money. For more everyday money tips, check out workmoney.org. Till next time, this is Carrie Joy saying, take good care.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Today might be the day I drop out of school. Today could be the last day I try. But you might be able to stop me. With United Way, you could tutor me, be my mentor, or volunteer to just read with me. If someone had helped me earlier, I might not be struggling. And studies prove that kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. There are tons of ways people like you can help kids like me stay in school. And United Way is calling for you to be one of them. Make me a success, not a statistic.
Take the pledge to volunteer now at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Senior American and Russian officials, including the country's top diplomats, will hold talks on improving their ties and negotiating an end to the war in Ukraine. The talks would be the most significant meeting between the sides since Moscow's full-scale invasion of its neighbor nearly 3 years ago. There's an update on Pope Francis's condition in a Rome hospital. The AP's Lawrence Brooks.
The Vatican says Pope Francis will require further hospitalization after his respiratory tract infection presented a complex clinical picture. This will raise concerns about the 88-year-old's increasingly frail health. The Pope was admitted to hospital in Rome after a week-long bout of bronchitis worsened. A Vatican spokesman has said the results of tests conducted in recent days has indicated that the Pope is suffering from a polymicrobial respiratory tract infection, which has required changes in his drug therapy. Scientists say these are caused by a mix of viruses, bacteria, fungi and parasites. No time frame has been given for his hospitalization, but the Vatican has said the complexity of his symptoms will require an appropriate hospital stay. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Arriving in Palm Beach, Florida,